What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Force Strategy Gaming. This is game number 2 here between IdrA and MC. This time we're on the map Dual Site. MC spawning in the right-hand spawn location as our blue Protoss player, and then over here in the left-hand position we have got IdrA as the red Zerg player. So yes, this is game number 2 here between IdrA and MC, and game 1. We saw IdrA stay on 2 base for quite a while, work his way up to Spieling and Fester. He pushed out with an attack, however, due to some nice force field placement, MC was able to really deal with that. The other big problem that IdrA saw in that engagement is that as he was burrowing his infestors and moving them under that force field wall, the observer of MC made it there just in time, and he was able to kill off those infestors before they could unburrow. Now, IdrA, as a result, dropped down a bunch of infested Terrans, but with a Guardian Shield, MC was able to quickly handle that. And then at the same time, MC moved out with a counterattack using Warp Prism and Force Field Harass, keeping IdrA from getting into his main base with the units from his natural expansion and preventing them from being able to help at all. And he just was able to do some effective harass, and after mopping up the rest of IdrA's attack, just push out with a counterattack for the GG. So there you go, that was game number 1 in a quick little summarization recap. Here in game 2, it does look like we will be seeing MC go with that Forge Fast Expand, and as I mentioned last game, Forge Fast Expand much more difficult on Xel'Naga Caverns given the sheer amount of distance between your ramp and your natural expansion. But if you take a look here on Dual Site, very, very easy to drop a Forge here and get your Gateway and your Cybernetics Core and just place a couple of cannons, and then you're right bunkered up right next to your Nexus at your natural expansion, and you're pretty much all set there. Again, as is the case with last map, IdrA, you know, with MC knowing exactly where he is in that early probe scout, he's really unable to go hatch first. Otherwise, he would have to deal with probe harass and pylon harass that would prevent him from dropping that expansion and then force him to come out with that spawning pool anyways. So that's why you will see a lot of times, and if the Zerg player gets scouted early, or if it's a small map with only 2 spawn locations, a lot of time the Zerg player in PvZ will just go ahead and go pool first, just to make sure that he doesn't have to deal with a likely headache. I mean, again, if IdrA tried to go hatch first, the probe would be here already, and he can just do this garbage. That or place down a pylon, which prevents you from getting your hatchery anyways. So the logical thing is to just get your spawning pool. You know you're going to be dealing with that harass, and there you go. Just go from there. Once you've got your Zerglings in, you are then safe to expand, and that's exactly what we will be seeing IdrA do. Now back over here, here is the Forge Fast Expand in the works right now. All the buildings warping in with the Forge, the Gateway, and the Nexus. Forge now complete. We'll be seeing a cannon very soon. It looks like it'll actually be going right there, and then another one there in the resource line. Now again, an issue with the Forge Fast Expand with this type of positioning is that, you know, when you don't have just one choke point that you can completely wall off with that Forge Fast Expand, as on this map you've got 2, you kind of angle from your ramp to your expansion. The major vulnerability will be that side that isn't really protected, so coming out with a cannon in or around the resource line is the way to deal with any harass from that angle. Because early game, the only type of harass you'll really be dealing with are Zerglings, and with the range of the Photon Cannon, it pretty much protects you from any harass from over here. Zergling again taking one shot there from the cannon, then pulling back just in the nick of time. A nice response there by IdrA. No reason to lose that unnecessarily. And then back over here, we can see IdrA is actually, early baneling nest as he spots that Forge Fast Expand. He actually will be attempting to bust it. Now he is coming out with this hatchery, but I don't really expect him to saturate that. That will primarily be used for extra larvae. And wow, very interesting here. So IdrA decided to go for an early game break, attempting a baneling bust here against MC. The one saving grace for MC will be sentries, and watch what we're going to see here for, actually going Stalker first. Very interesting, very interesting. He wants to take out this Overlord. He'll be following that up with sentries immediately after the fact. I don't think he actually had even enough S-Beam to be able to go Sentry first anyways once he got that Warp Gate research. So going Stalker first and then getting a Sentry after that, but we're going to expect a few Sentries, probably 2 to 3, that by the time this Baneling bust hits, although the Baneling bust is getting very, very close to coming here, where you have a bunch of Banelings outside of the main base, and IdrA is getting ready to push at the moment. You can see not a whole lot of saturation. He's primarily using that for the extra larva, and here it comes now. Baneling's going straight for that Photon Cannon and busting right through it and doing a lot of damage to those probes. IdrA right now in this early push is doing a major amount of damage. He's not actually going to be able to, he might be able to take out the second cannon as he got just enough Zerglings to be able to do so. But look at this, MC dropping 2 more cannons, and IdrA is going to have to rely on reinforcements here. And this is the major problem, because right now IdrA's got nothing, just these Zerglings, and that is it. And those Zerglings unable to bust through right now. It's going to force IdrA back, and all of a sudden MC has managed to defend this. And what is IdrA going to do? Will he continue to reinforce, or is he just pulling back? If he pulls back, this really does not bode well for him, and it looks like that is in fact what's going to happen. So IdrA, after what was more or less a unsuccessful baneling bust, he really wanted to get into the main there and wreak havoc, but unable to do so with some nice placement there of the buildings, as well as his units there. Just some beautiful micro from MC. Protected him from that push from doing too much damage. Wow, really unbelievable there. I'm really surprised that MC was able to defend himself. Now, they're about on par when it comes to resources lost, but what you got to keep in mind here, let's take a quick look at that income tab. MC's got a huge Vespian advantage. IdrA's got a slight mineral advantage at the moment, but really MC is significantly ahead at this point. Failing a baneling bust really sets the Zerg player behind so much, and you can see IdrA will be trying to overcompensate for that as he attempts to come out with this hatchery over here. So attempting to move into a third very, very quickly. And what is this thing? Is that like a ram? What is a ram doing here? That is ridiculous. All right, that's enough of that. Speedland's moving across the map, and countering the Zealot is going to force them back. IdrA's going to be getting 6 more lings. Actually, he's got 4 in play already, so he will be sitting on 10, and that will be enough to take out the Zealot, but the Zealot will not be able to get dropped before he gets his scouting information. The Zealot's pretty safe right now, and there it is, fully scouting out that IdrA has gone for that third, and this is going to allow MC to actually play a little bit more aggressively, as he knows IdrA is spread pretty thin right now and doesn't have that much of a force. Zealot does get taken out, but he managed to take out a few lings in the process. Back over here for MC, we can see Stargate is in play, and here come the Void Rays. We also got that level 1 weapons upgrades coming out here for MC, and MC's getting robotics here as well. So it's actually not going too gateway heavy here, as he's going to be getting some tech in that robotics as well as this Stargate here, and we'll have to see. He's probably going to be pushing out once he gets a couple more Void Rays. We'll see how effective that is. So yes, we should be seeing some harass very, very soon here from MC, and really, in all honesty, we can't expect IdrA to be able to do much at all anytime soon. He just really needs to work to get his economy back in the swing, and also he's getting up some higher tech here as he works his way up to layer tech. Looks like he will be going with some Roach play here, as we're seeing the missile attacks come through. We do have that Roach Warrant in play, although he's not sitting at any Roaches at the moment. He's just preparing for that point in time. Now, I'm a little concerned right now, because once these Void Rays hit, IdrA really doesn't have a lot. He's got a Spore Crawler coming down. Where is that, though? Is that going to be in the main? Actually, he's got 3 Spore Crawlers coming down. Okay, so there we go. Just kind of spreading them out here. Trying to make sure that he is defended. Now, I don't think he's scouted out the Void. Oh, he must have. Yes, he's fully aware of the Void Rays, because they're here now, knocking at his front door, and he's got more and more Spore Crawlers attempting to come out, but I don't know if he's going to get this out in time. Phoenix will be dropping down the Queen here as it lifts it up with the Graviton Beam. Just needs to pull out of the range of that Spore Crawler. And actually, that one Void Ray getting very, very low, forcing MC back right now, but he's got some pretty decent opportunity to get total map control at this point in the game. IdrA really won't be able to move out at all, as he does not have any effective mobile anti-air. Yes, he's got these Queens, but that's not likely to travel with him. So really, IdrA is losing map control at the moment. We're going to see MC just kind of continue to dance around. I was coming out with a War Prism, so we may see that same type of harass that we saw last game, moving out with a bunch of sentries loaded up, and there it is. MC will be dropping in the main. Now that he's got map control, he can safely move across the map straight through the center without IdrA having any ideas of what's going on. And he's going to be using this in conjunction here with his Void Ray and Phoenix Harass, and this could be quite a devastating combination. Let's see if IdrA will be prepared for this. Now, we do have that one Spore Crawler there, so MC needs to be careful. You can see right now he is just mounted up. Oh, the anticipation as MC prepares to push out, and he's going to be dropping very, very shortly. So, here we go right now. Here comes the War Prism, and it's going to be placed right here, and we're going to see that force field get dropped down right away as soon as he gets those sentries lowered and he sees any kind of threat coming out, and there it is. So now there's a whole lot of damage that will be taking place inside of the main, and nothing that IdrA can do about it. Look at all these Roaches and Queens just out of range, and the Void Ray is just decimating the lines here. The War Prism just needs to sneak a little bit further away, but again, all we need to see MC do is just pay attention and force field this front, and IdrA is kind of out of luck here. He doesn't have any burrow research to be able to push on in, and at the same time, as these units are trying to push on up, we're seeing these Void Rays just go to town on them. And another force field, and IdrA again in a heap of a lot of trouble. We can take a look at the resources lost. IdrA so far behind, forced to come down with some drones to try to help, but that doesn't matter as he ends up just losing pretty much every drone that he has without doing much damage whatsoever. More and more units getting warped in, more and more sentries in fact, And the Void Rays and the Phoenixes just kind of chilling out at the moment. There goes the spawning pool. We're going to see that layer get dropped. The Roach Warren's going to get dropped. The baneling nest is going to get dropped. IdrA is going to do the only thing that he knows that he can do, and that is attempt a counterattack. We've got a few Immortals here, as well as a bunch of Stalkers, and let's see how, yeah, that is it. IdrA just calling it GG, realizing he was just about to lose all of his tech, everything in his main, with absolutely nothing that he could do about it, and once again, War Prism Harass wins the game. After successfully defending against a baneling bust, we saw MC move into Void Ray and Phoenix Harass, and then immediately get a War Prism, drop in the main, and prevent IdrA from being able to defend his main by keeping him out with Force Fields. This is the same type of harass we saw in a counterattack last game, and it just goes to show you how effective it is, especially in conjunction with those Void Rays and Phoenixes. There was literally absolutely nothing IdrA could do here to defend his main. He just didn't have the tech. He was already so far behind after that failed baneling bust. Alright guys, that was game number 2, and that is going to do it for this series here between IdrA and MC. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the games. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.